Hey, welcome back to Bid Left Nut. I am your host, Stace Casaria, joined by my co-host, Johnny Miata, and we are live with Bid Left Nut. What's
Hi,
going on, John?
Stace. How are you?
I'm good. I had a fantastic weekend. Today's Tuesday. Here in Massachusetts, Monday is also a holiday when it's Patriots Day. So everybody gets the day off, and some people run a marathon, and some people just hang out in their basement thinking about cars and the cars we want and the cars we used to have.
Did you run any marathons this weekend?
I ran my mouth off, but
Okay.
that was about it. No, no marathons for me. I'm not the running type.
Same.
So
Same.
yeah,
That's why we have
yeah.
cars.
That's why we have cars. Speaking of cars, you're going to be excited about what we have today. I am going to test your knowledge on 4 generations of 911 Turbo to ask if you can guess how much did they close at. You're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to be put on the spot. The second round of you guessing prices or predicting prices is about 4 station wagons. Believe it or not, there are 4 wagons. So we have eight of those games in total.
Okay.
4 911 turbos and 4 dragon wagons. So you're going to get a chance to look at those. But the first thing we're going to probably do is our
Ooh.
Lexus wrap up from our
From one of the events from last week?
So there's going to be multiple cars. It's going to be this car, that car, and especially that car. We absolutely love the LFA. So
I like
we're
the
going to
smiley
go.
face. I
You like that
definitely like the
smiley
smiley
face?
face. Yeah, I love this event. I thought that one of the things that I loved about it was such wildly different price points
Right.
because I like cheap, kind of ratty cars. I mean, I like the expensive stuff and I'm an enthusiast. I like all cars, but really cheap, sort of unloved cars that sort of need to be brought back. need to be brought back from the brink. That's what I love.
Yeah.
And the LFA doesn't
Doesn't
do
need
that,
that.
but it has
No.
its own, obviously, its own sort of beauty to it, right?
Oh,
Like
sure.
it is amazing. So having all of those in one event really kind of makes you think about different things that put together a value for a car.
That's right. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to jump over to Bidfinite. Bidfinite is the game that we are always playing here. So Bidfinite essentially is a daily fantasy game for car lovers who obsess over auction prices. And that's the crux of this show, right? Bid Left Nut is all about auction prices. But we actually go and play a game where we're actually able to find real auctions happening on Bring a Trailer, on Cars and Bids, on Hemmings, on Hagerty, all of those major car auctions. And then whoever's playing, sometimes it's just me and a couple of friends, sometimes it's people we don't know, we're all playing together. And instead of like bidding to buy a car, we're just predicting the outcome. So we've got these curated events. We get to show off our knowledge. We don't spend any money foolishly. We don't own the cars, but we can show people or show each other what we think this thing is going to close for. So, John, do you watch auctions?
So I do, and I love watching auctions, right? Like I can't get enough of looking at cars, but like a lot of people, I kind of get frustrated with the amount of doom scrolling I do. Even if that doom scrolling isn't looking for the worst thing, it's looking for the best thing, right? I like looking at different values and seeing what cars sell for and finding some rare and unique stuff. And the nice thing about this game is I'm no longer just sort of a passenger that's not
Right.
actively participating. I get to kind of flex my knowledge a little bit.
Yeah.
By determining what I think cars are going to close at. So no longer is it me just going through and looking. I'm actually participating a little bit, which is why I really, really enjoy this.
Yeah. Yeah. We go head to head. And one of the auctions we're going to talk about is something from, I think it was last week we did it, and there was four Lexuses in there as we saw. We predicted what they would close at, and now we get to see who the biggest idiot is. So let me throw that up on screen for us to take a look at. This is the name Bid Wars. They're rebranding it as Bidfinite. It's going to be Bidfinite eventually. But let's just talk about essentially what the platform is. So you're coming in, you can see all the auctions that are happening on Bring a Trailer or any other platforms. There are events where vehicles are pulled together. For some reason, this Lexus SC400 is a little camera shy today. It's not showing up.
That's going to happen sometimes. That's okay.
It's absolutely going to happen. I mean, it didn't have time to do its makeup, but then people are going to put in its bids like me, Stace Coast here, or Johnny Miata there. Do you want to talk through this auction, or do you want to jump right into the scores to see who did well?
Let's not look at the scores yet, because honestly, I don't remember who won, but I'm going to guess it's not me, but that's fine.
It might be you. I don't remember either, because this was last week, which was like a million years ago.
What I do know is, looking at the first two cars that are on the screen, this ISF and especially the LS400. Let's look at the LS400 for a second, because I think the thing that I enjoyed most about this auction is the value of this LS400. I love these cars. I think that people know how reliable they are and what a big investment it was for Lexus. I think these are still considered the first gen, although it does have the facelift. This car, while it's a really nice piece and in fantastic condition, still got 105,000 miles.
Why a nice piece?
Well, just a nice car overall, right? I mean, it's in certainly above average condition. It's got just over 100,000 miles on it, and it's sold,
which is nothing for these cars,
right? But it's no longer a used car when it's selling for 16.2, and the collector factor is now there, right? It makes financial sense to put some money into it, to save it, to treat it well. It's no longer just a used car, because for a long time these were on the back lots of every used car lot. But it's finally getting some respect, right? And we know that by its selling price of 16.2. So I'm happy to see it.
So it had respect when it was new in its day. Had tons of respect. People understood that this was a watershed moment in the car world, where Lexus, Toyota created Lexus, came out of nowhere essentially, and it leveled the playing field with the Germans and the Italian luxury cars, and certainly way above anything America was making at the moment. But they dipped, right? I mean, so this model, the LS400, sort of disappeared onto the back lots, like you said. And
here's the thing: eventually, all cars become, for the most part, older used cars. And the fact that this Lexus was so reliable, these cars you could put hundreds of thousands of miles on. So a lot of people did that. And while the German equivalents wouldn't sustain a lack of maintenance that a third or fourth owner might put into their cars, these cars still kept running. And so they kept looking longer and longer in the tooth, but they would run and get people to work and do all the things that they needed to do. So eventually, everyone seemed to look kind of old and decrepit. But to see people spending some money on them, or finding the ones that continue to look great and assign a higher value to it, it's finally showing, it's giving the first gen LSs the respect that they deserve. And I'm here for it, man. I think it's a fantastic car.
Oh, I agree. Quick hot take here. Gold package, yes or no?
Wait, what? Hot take and cold package?
Gold package.
Oh, the gold package. So look, contemporarily, if that's even a word, and I don't know that it is.
It is today.
During the 90s, I didn't care for the gold package. I thought it was a little overdone. But now, as sort of a retro throwback, I would rock the gold package. I mean, I wouldn't do it on any of my daily driving new stuff, but it's period correct, and I kind of like it. I feel weird saying that, but I'm glad this car's got the gold package. It's cool. How about you? What do you think?
No, I didn't like it then. I don't like it now.
Okay.
It's just not my thing. Wood on the steering wheel doesn't give me wood. I mean, I don't appreciate this,
But
but
again, it's period correct, and I gotta say,
yes,
for what it is, right? It's a luxury car. The steering wheel, because it's a big, comfy, cushy, I kind of dig it. I'm
hmm
okay with the wood adornment. I like the wood better than I like the gold,
hmm
but I also kind of like the
What
gold.
what was this
Um,
lock for?
that lock is probably so that nobody can open the trunk or the gas door. The 90s, it was very dangerous. People were trying to break into
That's
your
right.
trunk and your gas door.
That's right. It
I
happened
got
all
a
the time.
question. If you go to the stereo that's been installed, which is clearly aftermarket,
What?
uh,
Too
give me
close?
your give me your thoughts on aftermarket audio.
Well, do you mean audio? Like, does it sound good like a Bose 901 speaker?
I mean, those 901 speakers are amazing,
No,
but they're hard to fit in the car.
they certainly are. I don't mind it as much as I probably should. Even in a car like this, it's going to give it a lot more usability. We've become creatures of comfort, as the great patriot once said, "Give me convenience or give me death." So I think we need the Apple CarPlay or the Android equivalent. I think we want Maps, we want Spotify, we want hands-free calling and things like that. So I honestly don't mind it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. The aesthetically, it kind of drives me nuts. Like this doesn't look great to me, but having a couple of cars that don't have any upgraded audio in it, um, it becomes a challenge. And you're absolutely right. Like I'm trying to get kind of anywhere that I'm not familiar with, and now I'm juggling the phone, and it's yeah. So
Yeah, they don't call
I'm
you
with you.
Magellan for nothing.
I think it's a necessary evil, I guess, is the way I would describe it.
Speaking of necessary evils, it's time to move on to the next
Okay,
car.
well, it was a good time.
So you want to talk about the ISF, or do you want to
Yeah, I
talk
mean,
about some of the other cars we have?
let's save the LFA for last,
Okay.
just because it is kind of awesome.
hmm
Um, but let's talk about this ISF and define it closed at 31.5.
Yep,
I don't remember how many miles this car had on it.
I can tell
Um,
you. 73,600.
I mean, the mileage is right. It is not modified, which I appreciate. Like, if
hmm
I had the choice between a modified car and an unmodified, I'm an OEM guy.
hmm
Um, I think new in their day, people were really, really impressed with the ISF. I think that it's got a lot of performance. It is, certainly it's a 2008, I believe, so it's relatively modern. I'm again, so first and foremost,
I think
I'm a
it's a
Toyota guy.
2013, but let's not quibble over 5 years.
8, 13, point taken. But the fact remains that being a Toyota fan, I'm happy that there's some collector presence here, that people are recognizing the greatness. The fact that this car um, sold for 31.5 again shows that people are into these, and they're
It sold
maintaining
for
their value really well.
31.5, but what did you think it was going to sell for?
I was at 35 on this one, and
Yeah, not far
y-
off. I was even
not
further
too
off.
far off. I mean,
I was at 38.
I guess if I was to look back again, and I'm not sure that I did this, I would check the Carfax because at 2013, it kind of straddles the line between what I'm looking for in a collector car and what I would be looking for in a daily driver, right? So now I'm looking at Carfax, which I don't do if a car is from the 90s or the 80s because it doesn't really matter too much. I'm looking more at
Right.
condition. But for this, I kind of want to know the history of it. And the whole lifetime of the car should be documented somewhere, be it Lexus or Carfax, which I realize is not infallible. But
hmm
there should be some sort of paper trail for the car. Um, but at 31.5, I think it was a good buy. I mean, I don't know. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was too. I was I came in much stronger on this. I came in at
Yeah.
38,
Okay.
and I like these cars a lot. This one I liked based on the mileage. I don't think it's that high. I'm a person who will drive a car from here to the moon and back, right? So those miles don't scare me, especially on a Lexus or a Toyota product. I just wanted to point out Inder, our buddy Inder, he was at 32. He was not far off from where this closed. Andre was at 34, and again, those were the two closest bids. Actually, Paul was in there at 34.5. So yeah, I thought it was a good deal. We didn't talk about the Lexus, whether we thought that closing at 16.2 was well bought, well sold, or neither.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think I expressed my excitement for the fact that it closed at 16, but more from the standpoint, I like that people are seeking these out and paying good money for them. At 105,000 miles, this is a California car all its life, no rust. It is seemingly well maintained. Do I think it's a little high? Yeah, I do. I'm not mad at that, unless, of course, I was the one buying it. But
how high would you think it was? Because you said that you thought it was going for about 15. You said 14,995. So I mean,
yeah, I mean,
not that far off what you thought it should
not that
have
far
been.
off. I mean, I'm not saying it was criminal for either the buyer or the seller.
Right.
But
Not
you know,
criminal.
what would I pay for the car? And I guess that's a distinction, right? Sometimes it's what I think the car is going to close at, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what I'm going to pay for it.
Sure.
I'm notoriously cheap and like a good deal and don't mind doing a little bit of wrenching if I can get a car that's almost there to their status.
Right.
You know, I don't know. I thought the number might be 14 for something that that's what I would pay, with the paper trail, with the documentation, with the fact that it's a clean car. But even at 16.2, I don't think anybody's going to get hurt on it if they keep it in the same condition and continue to maintain it.
I agree. I just wanted to point out that I was a little closer than you on this one.
I did notice that. I tried to sidestep it, but you circled back, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, even Jacone was at 16.05, so he was closer than I was. So what do you want to do next? You want to go to scores? You want to talk about the LFA a little?
Let's talk about the LFA. We'll leave out the SC since it has left us out. I don't know where it went, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So let's look at the LFA. 3,800 miles.
Let's listen to the LFA. Have you heard an LFA in person? Have you ever been in the presence of one?
I have been in the presence of greatness, and the sound that this car makes, I believe, is what brings like more than half its value, right? It sounds insane.
It does. Beautifully insane. Not like an ex-girlfriend who found out you're dating her cousin. Not that kind of insane.
That's a different form of oral anger, for sure. That was weird, but this is $875,000. I know we're looking at the pictures right now, but it's kind of hard to separate the two in my mind. $875,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. Again, being a Toyota fan and obviously Lexus, you love to see it, right? It's legitimizing the whole brand. And Toyota can make everything from a Corolla to a
mid-engine minivan.
It's really, really impressive, because if we look at the cars in this stratosphere, you think about a Lamborghini, you think about Ferraris, you think about I guess we're still a little less expensive than a Koenigsegg, but you know, you look at the hypercars, but those guys don't know how to make a Corolla. They don't know how to make an Echo.
No.
Never mind, how about a whole arm that just makes trucks? And here's Toyota, what is this, a 2010? So 15 years later, people are recognizing the greatness, the engineering, the collectability, and they're paying up for it. And I'm not paying up for it, but I'm glad somebody is.
Neither of us are paying up for it because we have better things to spend their money on.
Sure.
I think these are gorgeous, though. I mean, the sound is amazing. So we talked about the sound a little bit early on, and I think this was the engine developed by Yamaha, or the exhaust system, or maybe both were developed by Yamaha, a maker of
pianos,
motorsports, and also musical instruments. So I mean,
I don't remember the specifics, but I do know, this car is known for that noise that it makes.
Mhm.
I guess the question is, for $875,000, was it a good buy or not?
I thought it was a little high. Let's go back to our predictions on this. So it closed at 875. Oh, I didn't even bid on this. I think I forgot that. I missed that one. Andre, player named Andre, don't know who he is, but he's somebody who joins the games every now and then. He closed. He got it exactly spot on. So I mean,
I
that's
wonder if
that's
was he our first ringer, like
perfect
not ringer, but was he our first
perfect score.
perfect score?
I think so. The platform's first perfect score. I mean,
I
we've got a
wonder if
lot
the
of people who,
balloons fell. Like we had balloons to fall on
yeah,
whoever it was that was going to do that first, like Homer bowling the
yeah,
perfect game. But
yeah. The confetti cannon went off, but nobody was around to see it. So
did it really make a sound then?
it did not. It didn't make a sound, but it made a fucking mess here in the office.
Yeah,
So
no.
had to clean that up. Had to get the Hoover out. But Paul thought it was going 775, and Paul knows these. Well, I don't say he knows these cars, but he's sort of he's in touch with the Toyota Lexus universe. Evan was in at 791.
Jay
I have.
Canez apparently doesn't like LFAs.
I think it's a typo. I think he
I
meant. I
no.
think.
Listen, we all value different things, and it's clear that Jay Canez does not value whatever it is that the LFA. Is he deaf? Serious question. I mean,
Is he
that
deaf?
would diminish the value in my mind if I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh,
Hey, ultimately though, we do have to talk about the scores here. And since I know I didn't bid on one of those, so the way the scoring works is you're you make a prediction based on what you think it'll close for. Whether it sells or not, the highest bid is what we calculate from. Then we take a percent, we subtract your score or your bid from the actual closing price, whether you're higher or lower, it doesn't matter. We take that difference, and that's the bid spread, and we represent that as a percentage from the bid spread. So, for instance, Andre, who nailed it on the money, dollar for dollar, he was 0% off. His bid spread is zero, so he gets 100 full points. If I were half off, if let's say I only bid that car as $412,000 or whatever the half of it was, I'd only get 50 points. So that's how the scoring the scoring mechanism works. So let's take a look at the scoring. How do you think you did on this one, John?
I think I came in third, but I don't remember.
Oh no, you came in second.
Oh,
You came in second. Paul, like I said before, Paul knows the Lexus Toyota product pretty well. And so we can take a look at his score. So in total, he had 348 points. On the ISF, he scored a 90 and a half. On the LS400, 95. He really did poorly on the SC400, but only like Jacone, he did well on the SC400, but nobody else really did well on that car. It's an older car. It was a little rough, I think. I think that makes it a little harder to predict accurately.
here's one of my hot takes. You ready? It depends on the platform, which we're going to probably edit this in post, but
Never.
sometimes the platform I find can affect the end price, the sale price.
Yeah.
And that SC, you're right, it was a little ratty, but in addition to that, there just wasn't a lot of action on it.
Mm-hmm. Where was that? Was Cars and Bids, or was that
It was
Hemmings?
on
Where was
Cars
that?
and Bids. And
Cars and
so,
Bids. Okay.
look, a 95 SC in really good condition can fetch a good amount of money, right? It's got a 2JZ in it, even though it's not turbo. The SC300s have manual transmissions, which can be very valuable. But in terms of this one, it had neither. And, well, it had the 2JZ, but it didn't have a lot more going for it than that.
And it was teal, I think, right?
It was teal. It was the right color, like if you're going for retro, but it was just long in the tooth. And I think that it sold for the correct amount of money. But there just wasn't a lot of action on it. So, yeah, I think that if you look at across the board, this was a pretty good auction. The scores were really high, right? The top 4 were over 300 points out of a possible 400. I think, I don't know, as we're figuring out this game, the question becomes, do people like the auctions that they do well in, the events that they do well in, the cars that they know well enough that they don't have to spend an hour researching? Or do you like the challenge of, man, I have no idea what this is going to sell for, and I'm looking for comps all over the place to get a feel for it, but it's not showing up. Like, I'm basically throwing a dart in the dark.
I think it's for me personally, it's a little bit of each. So, I mean, there are cars that I know well, and I'm just trying to think of what some of those are. But I think we had a set of Italian cars I think I did well at, because I just happen to know those cars a little bit better than other people. But if it were like muscle cars, I am throwing darts at the muscle cars.
And the owners get really mad. I think that for me, I can bid confidently on original equipment stuff. I feel like I have a good handle on the market as a whole. Where I get thrown is like a hot rod or a street rod or a wildly modified anything. And suddenly that's all out the window, right? We don't know how well the work is done in many cases. And so we can look at the pictures, but there's some things that you just can't tell unless you're there. And those are the cars that I have a tough time with. I think technology is getting better, and there's enough videos, and the pictures are getting so good, and people know what to look at, that when something is marketed correctly, you can get all the money for a well-modified car. But those are still the cars that I have a hard time putting a number on.
Yeah, so they're well-modified cars, and then they're custom cars. So when you talk about hot rods, I mean, we're talking a lot of customization. So I think there it gets really difficult. So then there's a couple of other variables that come into play. So the builder definitely has a factor in the value of the car. There's some people's builds that you just, want to have because this guy's famous or did something else, or, but also the people who are in the room. So the crux of any auction is who's in the room at the moment that this thing is selling. But like with hot rods or super customized cars, somebody really needs to want that car the way it is on that day, right? I mean,
yes.
So that's a huge factor.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So overall, I think this is a pretty good event to see how the game works.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's necessarily the best indication of all of the events that we have, right? These are 4 relatively young timer neoclassic. But that's not all we do here, right? I mean,
it just happened to be Lexus's on Thursday. Like, what else do we have? We had another event called the Last Open Road. We had Time for a Second Coming, which was not religious themed, but I think it closed on Easter,
nice.
Or Easter weekend. What do you want to
dive into? Easter weekend.
Yeah. What do you want to dive into?
This car, I mean, for this event, I guess, is it time? Can we talk about that Jaguar?
Yeah, guys, we got to talk about this Jaguar because we're actually going to open this one up.
Well, I'll tell you what. Before you do that, and we can do it either way. So whatever you want to do, but at some point we definitely have to look at what we bid on this Jaguar and maybe explain why. So however you want to do it. Do you want to look at the car first, or do you want to explain the rationale? Because I got burned really bad. Spoiler alert, I got burned really bad on this one, and I'd love to share why that is.
Yeah, so the car closed at 31.5. JM, you
58,250. And here's the thing. I kind of feel like I'm pretty good at throwing numbers on cars. I have a lot of experience.
All right, here you get 30 seconds. Give us your rationale, then we're going to look at the car.
Okay, fine. So here's the deal, and this is the bottom line. I looked at this car, and in my head, I'm usually pretty good at throwing a number on it. And I looked at it, and the condition is kind of poor, but it's a
It's
Survivor.
poor.
I figured it's
It
a
was rough.
$35,000 car because you're going to have to put a lot of money into it, and at that point, you're going to get a a picture of what an excellent car would be. So when I back all those numbers out, it's 35,000. But here's the thing: I went into the comments
That's
because
more than
that's
30. You're past 30 seconds now. Come
I'm still doing
on.
it. But basically,
We're going to it.
I go into the comments and I look at them, and everybody's like, "Oh, this car's going to the moon! Wow, that's a Survivor! It's amazing! It's going to sell for crazy money!" And I bought in. I was like, "Oh, yes, it is." And so I put a crazy number on it. And then, as it turns out, why am I listening to strangers on the internet? I don't do that in any other aspect of my life.
Mhm.
But here we were. So
But you know
anyway,
what,
that's my
John?
story, and I'm
Here's the
sticking
thing:
to it.
is that it didn't sell. It didn't sell. I mean, it was just bid to 31.5.
Yeah, good point. Good
But
point.
still, that's all it was worth that day. That's exactly what that means. It was worth that much that day. But you notice, like after it closes, then you got people coming and saying things like, uh, "Just looking at this single picture, I can see problems." I mean, so like, I mean, of course, there are always comments like that. Um,
I have a rule with my friends and enemies, I guess. But if you bring me a car and you want me to assess it and put a number on it, I will do that. If you just bought a car and you want me to do the same thing, I will never do that. It is the nicest one I've ever seen. I'm very excited for your new purchase. I think it's got a lot of potential, but at no point am I ever going to give my unvarnished opinion to a car that you just paid good money for. That all that does is make enemies and make me an outcast. I'm not doing that. So I love the people in the comments that are, have no fear of being the armchair quarterback and going, "Oh, I wouldn't pay 31.5 for that," or whatever the sale price is. Like, thanks. That was super helpful. Thanks for coming on the comments today.
Yeah. I just wanted to point out this was, I think, one, and I remember reading this the day of the auction, and I think this was a really great comment from the seller. So I remember the seller, he has a point of view and he has an agenda. And I'm not throwing shade on him. I just thought this was a really good tactic. And whether the story is accurate or not necessarily important. But he says the owner of Classic Showcase, who is also a JCNA judge, was judging the JCNA Challenge Championship event circa 2011, which is a little bit of time ago, when he came across this very XK120 SE being shown in the preservation class. After meeting with the owner, he expressed his appreciation of its originality and gave the XK owner his information should he ever want to sell it. So, in the mind of bidders, they're like thinking, "Oh, wait a second, this owner of Classic Showcase, who happens to be a JCNA judge, wants to buy this thing." No, we don't even know if that's the case. But anyway, I thought that was a really great comment on the part of.
I took that comment to heart, and I was like, "This is going to the moon. I better proxy or pretend bid strong on it."
Mhm.
But that was amazing, and that should be in a textbook somewhere in negotiations and getting the most for your product. It was masterful and amazing, and I got burned on it.
Yeah. Um, I think we all got burnt on it. So if we look, I came in, I got 34 points, which is awful. Um, you
I
got
got
15, which is worse.
15. I really tried to bid all the money on that one.
Yeah, we got two people who didn't participate. That happens. But the theme of this auction was cars or car models that have died, and we were saying, hey, which would you want resurrected? So out of all of these, Johnny, which would you like? A new Shelby, a new Ranchero, a 2002, or something from Jaguar that actually feels like an XK120?
I want a spiritual successor to the 2002. I want a similar design. I want simplicity. I want fun to drive. I want practical. Um,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get any of those things in the modern car market, but
This is gorgeous. Look at this thing.
but do you remember when we were kids and these were everywhere? They were literally, I mean, we both grew up in Connecticut, and I think that actually helped with the amount of 2002s, right? It was a very Connecticut car,
Yeah.
but they were so ubiquitous. I hate to use that word, but it's true. Like, they were everywhere because they were so good. They were so good at being a car. And the design is timeless. I think it still looks great. If somebody would make a modern 2002, I would buy it.
Mhm.
And you could argue that the 2 Series exists, but it's not the same. I don't think we're ever going to see anything like this ever again.
Let me ask you. Okay, so clearly, let's take safety out of it because we know A pillar, B pillar, C pillar. Those things are all real concerns these days, safety wise. But these are all incredibly thin. I mean, you are like, it's like there's a glass cap on top of the car. I mean, there's very little rollover protection. Or, I mean, if like a seagull hit you when you're on the highway, it might dent or
It
take out one of those pillars.
it's true, but the other
But take
side
that
of
out of it.
that,
Take that out of it. So it's
oh,
like the quirky looks of it, I think it's just a gorgeous looking car. I mean, do you think this would sell today?
no, no, anything that I like, no, it's not going to sell. Like, everybody wants a big hulking SUV with very thick pillars and poor visibility, but they have the cameras to make up for it. I mean, I know I sound like an old man right now, but it's just how I feel. Anytime
You
I
look
see
like an old
something,
man too, with
I
the
mean,
beard.
anytime I see something that I'm like, ooh, I like that, that's the thing. That usually is the kiss of death, and um, it's not for the mass market. Yeah, the door handle, like the overspray. Okay, not the overspray, but the door handle,
Yeah,
so elegant, like
it
such a
is.
great design.
You know, you were talking the other day, or we were talking the other day, and you were talking about just these like stylistic touches on certain cars, which you remember. And I think we were talking about the Starliner, the stars that go up the C pillar of a Starliner. But like something like this is just a detail that didn't need to be there for any reason, but it's just like it's gorgeous. I mean, it's just like when a car company would let a designer do that, they weren't going to use like a standard run of the mill door handle. They cast this. I think it's
Right.
I love those touches.
And I'll tell you what, sometimes my kids ask me why I go to car shows. Usually the second part of that question is, and why do you drag us with you? But
Hmm.
the reason is because I like to look at those types of details. The door handle on a 2002, the Starliner that has the stars on the C pillar, the steel wheels, which, by the way, is the cheapest option, but seems to look so good now with the trim rings. It's
Yeah.
just, I there are so many great details on classic cars that are missing today, either because of finances, right? The accountants
Hmm.
are in charge, or because it doesn't help aero, so you're going to get worse gas mileage. Um, there's not as much freedom for designers today, but
Right.
I love it. I love everything about this car. And this isn't even a really nice example. I would put this as a mid to low driver, right? A condition
Hmm.
3 car. But I
Yeah.
like it. And I
I
wish
like
they
it
would
too.
make something like it new.
I like it too. Out of all of these cars, if I wanted one to be rebuilt again, it would be an XK 120. I've always liked the 120s. Don't like 140s. I know that sounds odd because they're so close to being the same car. But there's so many stylistic differences, mechanical differences, obviously. The XK 140 is probably a better car, but I prefer the 120. But if I were going to take any of these home, park it in the garage, it'd be this Ranchero. I just think they're very cool looking. I think this first generation Ranchero is just what the 50s were all about. I mean, so
So you don't think it looks like it had one too many cups of coffee?
oh, the headlights, yeah. So we can is it
It
a browse?
perpetually looks surprised. Like, I didn't see you there. Like, just in my mind, it is cool. It's
Yeah.
very 50s, but also
All right. All right.
methamphetamines,
We're gonna give you
just a
your
little bit.
moment. We're gonna give you your moment.
Oh,
Especially
oh,
this angle where you can see this flange. It looks like the eyes are really protruding.
Like I'm at CVS and somebody in front of me just asked for all the NyQuil they have and they've been denied. Like that's the look, that's the vibe I get from this. But that's just me. I think it's great. It is very 50s.
I love it. I love it. Get off the tracks. The car's coming. So you can, anyway. So
wait, and just out of curiosity, what did that Ranchero sell for?
It sold for the final bid. I don't think it sold.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
let's take a look. Yeah, it was only bid to. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, cars like this blow my theories out of the water because it's a 1957. The people that were there in 1957 or knew this is a new car and have the nostalgia for it, they're dead or dying. But obviously somebody still likes it and will.
No ill will toward those people. Right.
It is worth noting. Like
decrepit.
It is what it is, right? People get older, time moves on, but there's obviously a market for this if somebody's willing to pay $40,000 for it. So, I guess I'm glad about that. Like I like the car hobby and all the cars in it, so I want it to keep going. I'm just a little surprised by how much it sold for, but pleasantly surprised, I guess.
There was a better one that sold on Bring a Trailer. It was more than 6 months ago, I think, but it was yellow and white. It was like Inca gold and colonial white were the colors. And it and it wasn't hot rodded like this one. And I just think it was such an amazing car. I mean, that's the one I would have wanted. Just because I like the wholesomeness. That's, I guess, one thing that I like about cars from the 50s. It's just like if you think about like Leave It to Beaver or
I was hoping you would say that. Yeah, I was hoping you would say that. Yeah, I'm about to show my kids Pleasantville, the movie, which kind of pokes fun at the whole wholesomeness of the 50s, but also, I don't know, the things that I thought were really cool about the 50s. And I agree with you. I think that something like this evokes that, right? You can see Main Street. You can see Main Street in the lines of that car. And I'm glad other people appreciate it and will pay up for it.
Yeah, me too. Just not us.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about next? You want to talk about that other auction, or do you want to jump into some games where I test your skills?
Let's play games. I like games. Games are good.
Here's what we're going to do. So how this works is it's a segment that we like to call It Closed at What? Where we try to stump Johnny Miata. So John has some skills. John has only a few skills, right? So, but he knows how to predict the prices of cars, and it makes for good fun. I give him about 15 seconds to look at a couple of photos of cars, and then he has to make a snap judgment, and we find out if he's right or wrong or just a big idiot.
It's worth noting that we're not organized enough to do this ahead of time, so like that I have the answers. And I don't know how I could prove that, but I assure you, I haven't seen the cars before. I don't know what you're selecting.
John, the proof will be that you're not going to get them right. I'm always hoping you're not going to get them right, and you're trying to get them right. But these are cars that closed in the last week. So in theory, if you're studying all the auction platforms, you could have figured this out. Dummy.
That would also require me to have any sort of memory retention.
Correct. Oh yeah, that's right. And something else. So we have 8 loaded up today. The first 4 are 911 turbos of different generations. I thought that'd be kind of fun. And then the last 4 are 4 different American family haulers wagons. So, are you excited?
I waited with bated breath.
Okay.
What are we doing first?
We're going to do the 911s.
Okay, of course we are.
That's what the people came to see.
89,000 miles. I lost. Okay. 1096. I'm going to put, $110,000. I am way off. Okay, 145. It's to keep up with the value of 11 turbos. They're worth so much money. Yeah. And I get why but in my head, I'm still 5 years behind on them. But now that I've made that excuse, what else do we have?
Okay. I am not a fan of silver cars. I don't know if you know that about me, but I really don't like silver cars. But when I saw this photo, I was struck. I was struck by the paint. It looked like it was liquid. It looked like it was mercury, like flowing. I don't know where mercury flows down a
In the
poisonous
thermometer,
river
it was, yeah,
in a
sure.
thermometer. So this is a 964 turbo.
A 964 turbo. All right. All right.
The color is just gorgeous. You ready?
Yeah, I'm
It
ready.
will take your breath away. So take your last breath right now.
Oh, it's going to be hard to talk. 43,000. Paint to sample, supple leather. Oh, good lord. Speed lines, all the things. All right, fine. Oh, God. 238,000. I am off.
Are you
Okay.
awestruck?
The best part of this is, and I am not making fun of 911 turbos, but in 1994, they sold like 8 cars, Porsche, in the United States. Like things were going really, really bad. And it's just amazing to me that those are the cars that are worth the most amount of money. I get it, supply and demand, and there's not a lot. And this is the last car that has that analog feel, but it has modern power. So I get it, but that's $500,000.
Yeah.
It took
Do
my
you
breath
really
away. You're
wait?
right.
Hold on, I gotta call you on something. Do you really think this is the last analog one? Because there might be a generation after that.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Yeah. Well, 94, what am I thinking? No, because by 98, we went to the water-cooled cars. So,
we have 964, but what?
oh, then there's the 997, then the 996 after that. All right. Yeah, I get it. So I have a feeling
No.
this
So we
is,
got 964, but we had 993.
oh, 993. It's a lot of numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, the 993. I get it. All right. I
I've got
I
I
have
got
a
a feeling
feeling
if you
you're
go.
foreshadowing what comes next. Is that true?
Yes, but I have a feeling you're gonna get your ass kicked because you didn't even remember this car existed a second ago.
Well,
How are you gonna
so
know the
far
price?
I'm so flustered at this point. Like, I just basically have to double whatever it is that I think it's going to sell for.
Probably. Let's
Yeah.
go.
All right, let's see. 97, 41,000, rootwood trim, sunroof, pleated leather, paint to sample. God. 600? I don't know.
6?
600,000. Come on. Was I right that the previous generation will sell for more than this car? Did you just Jaguar me? I think you did. You were like, "Oh, this is going to the moon," and I fell
I
for it
didn't
on
say
the day.
that. I didn't say that. I said you're gonna be wrong.
What is rootwood?
It's
The rootwood of this.
I don't know. It was a detail I threw in there to confuse you, but it's light rootwood.
Oh yeah, you don't want the dark rootwood. You want the light one.
That stuff's garbage. Yeah.
All right.
We
Well,
got.
I guess the secret's out of. I mean, I like 911s a lot, but I definitely don't follow them. I guess I've got some homework to do.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
so
got.
that was a fun game. I'm glad.
Oh,
Oh
we're
wait,
not
we have
done.
more? Wait, how many did we just do? 3?
We just did 3.
All right. Well, clearly I can't count or assess values of 911s.
It's
All
a
right, well,
997. It's a little bit more modern. 997.1. You're gonna get this one. I've got faith. Okay.
all right, let's see. All right. 1,800 miles. All right. Is this a $180,000 car? No. Oh.
Yes.
All right. I promise
Yes.
you that was shooting from the hip, but I feel a lot better. 180,000. I'll be honest, I don't even think it's poorly bought. I really like these cars. I find that the interiors are my favorite of all 911s. I'm sure people are going to want to fight me for that, but it's simple, modern enough.
Yeah.
I like these a lot. 180 out of my price range. Guards red. I'm not really a Guards red guy, but
Me neither.
nice car. 1,800 miles.
Yeah.
The only problem that I see is that when you have a car with this low of miles, I hope you enjoy looking at it because you're not going to want to drive it.
Right.
And then what's the point?
Right.
181,000. Okay. All right. I feel a little better. I'm slightly less embarrassed. Slightly.
Okay. Are you ready to talk about some American wagons?
Let's talk about some Wagoons.
Wagoons. Yeah. So the first car up is a Malibu.
Malibu.
Or it's a Chevelle wagon. Okay. You ready? Let me just turn this. I got to turn the sound. The sound is so loud on these things. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go. All right, 72 Chevelle, 660 since refurbished. Ooh, it's got a manual trans. I don't know. Did somebody pay for 42,000? Somebody paid 60. No, somebody paid 22. What happened here? I saw 60.
Oh, yeah, it's 68. Stace messed up the. It was 68.
I met you in the middle at 42.
Yeah.
$1,000 discount.
We're gonna move on. I'm sorry. I messed up.
$64,000. That's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of money. Okay, you're gonna like the next one. This is
All right.
right up your alley. John, if you and I ever went on vacation together, first of all, we'd probably end up killing each other by the end of the trip. But this is probably what we'd want to take.
All right. A Cadillac sedan passed us by. A remark was made, "There's a car for me."
Squire,
Well,
3,000 miles.
the fellas led me for being behind, so I started
I'm going to pay
that on Lincoln Unwind.
$22,500 for this. I love this. I pay more than that. I paid $30. This is $22,500?
How did all these prices are wrong? This is 11.
Can we say $22,500 since I bet 22?
Yeah. Okay, but it was actually it sold for $11,000. I can't believe that I've messed all these videos up.
That's all right. Nobody's
I'm gonna blame my
watching,
assistant.
but $11,000 seems like a bargain. This thing.
I agree.
All the patina. I would have went in halvesies.
Yeah, 11. It sold for 11. Anyway, I think
thing's awesome.
I'm looking at the they just redid the interior. Somebody maybe changed.
Somebody whitewashed it.
Carburetor. Yeah, you can tell that they varnished the wood. Maybe just to keep it.
63. Is this plastic wood at this point? It's got to be, right? It's not. It's not veneer. Not like my teeth.
I don't know if it is.
I don't remember what the last year for wood.
It says wood grain accents.
I am wood grain.
It was pretty good. That's my friend Pepe Le Pew. I hope that this next one is. I got the price right on this one because I'm going to be.
Well, either way, I know I'm not going to. So one of us should. All right, what do we got? Let me see. Oh, 72, 64,000 miles. It's got the scenic roof thing. I hope this sells for $29,995.
I think this one was actually 22.
Oh. All right, at least I'm in the same ballpark-ish. My favorite part of this car by far is the roof. Like,
yeah. What
a cool design. I love these cars.
Yeah, I think that's.
What do you think? Is that a good price? Would you pay that if you were looking for one of these?
It's in such good shape, and I think it had low miles. Yeah, it has 64,000 miles. So I have a feeling.
Yeah.
That this car would run forever. I mean, like every now and then you see somebody driving around like a Cutlass Supreme, and it's like a million years old, and it's like, all right, this thing's still working. I have a feeling that this car would run for a long time.
It's low tech. Anybody can fix it. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like it. Sometimes I have a problem with some of the older stuff where mechanics are like, I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
And I think if any tech that I know looked at this and it was as rust free as it looks, they'd be like, yeah, I can do that with my eyes closed. So, I think that was good value there.
Yeah. Speaking of your eyes closed, this next one, when you get into the interior, you may want to close your eyes.
Is it dirty?
No, it's not dirty. It's how should I describe it? It's spicy.
Spicy. Okay. Ooh, okay. 88 Grand Marquis, 5 lower and that's a thing. I hope that sold for $6,500 for somebody. Ooh, the ashes are still there. Excellent. $4,000. Somebody bought that. You can't say you bought it well. You just bought it.
Actually, it was only bid to $4,000. It didn't sell. But
can we just talk for a moment? Like, no, I don't want to talk about this car. That seat makes me feel icky. That seat makes me sad. There's some sad memories in that seat, I think.
You know, there's sadder memories in the third row back seat, or the worst memories are somebody losing their virginity in the back seat of this thing. That's the worst.
Yeah, this is now I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth.
Good.
Is that a car that I would love to revive and like rip the eBay headlights out of and put some normal springs back in it and rip the tint out of it and make it a nice, fun, exercise all of the ghosts from it? Probably not. Still no.
No.
But I like big American station wagons.
Correct.
And I cannot lie. I think they're great. But maybe not that one, because that one, I'm going to make an appointment with my therapist right after this. This week sponsored by BetterHelp. No, we're not.
Yeah. And we didn't bid on those on on Bidfinit, but we might be bidding on some. Let's go to it. Hold on. You do some talking, and then I'm going to go.
So as usual, Stace and I have the unique ability, I feel like, a lot of our thoughts are very similar without us consulting one another. And the fact that, I don't know, I go through Stace's house and his unmentionables and stuff, and I see so many things that I also have. That's just complete coincidence. Yeah. And then playing the game, same thing, right? Because Stace came up with Stump Me on those wagons. I happened to create an event this morning that was also about station wagons, because it just felt like the time to talk about station wagons. So it is very funny that without consulting one another, we're kind of on the same wavelength. And hey, here we are. That's right. I chose 4 different wagons. I'm very happy to report. But kind of similar, like that Roadmaster could probably give the Grand Marquis a run for its money. I don't remember what the interior looks like. What's that?
In ickiness? Like what?
Yeah, it's like 150,000 mile used car. There's no collected. I mean, there's collectability in Roadmasters, just not that Roadmaster.
Okay.
The Edsel Villager, on the other hand, I am in love with this car, and it's got a great provenance. I am curious to see what it's going to sell for. It's currently at $21,000. I may up my bid later, because I think it may go for more than the 34 that I have put down. It was restored by a prominent Edsel nerd, and I mean that with all the love in my heart. But it's a really, really cool car. It's been displayed at a number of different places. Shrine of the Holy Grail. You're going to definitely see that as a title someday in the Bid Left Nut platform, because I'm stealing it. It's amazing.
It goes right along with one of my favorites, the Shrine of the Internal Combustion.
For sure. We have many shrines, and we pray to all of them. But I love this car. I love everything about it. I love the way it looks. I love the dog dishes. In the comments, they were talking about not having white walls and what a shame that was. And I would say opposite.
I think it's the opposite too. I think this looks like very Dragnet. You know?
For sure, it's a poverty spec car. This did not have a lot of options in it. And so one of the comments followed up and said, look, if you're putting the little hubcaps on it, you're not springing for the $37 white walls. This is the way that car is supposed to look as it left the assembly line. And I will also say, as a design nerd appreciator, the pink and sort of maroon color combo is not something that I often think about as colors that go together, but it looks phenomenal in my eyes. I just think it's such a great color combo that it's definitely period correct, 1950s, but it's cool. Like, I would like to single-handedly try and bring that back.
Would it be fair to say that you're a villager idiot?
I am most definitely a villager idiot, and if I could, I would have worked that into the title of today's event.
Okay.
Next time.
All right. Anyway, so it's just by coincidence that I picked those 4 Dragon Wagons to show you on Stump Johnny, and you picked 4 wagons. We must have been doing it at the same time from miles apart. But anyway,
states away, one would say.
States away, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely. So anyway, that is today. This is today's one of today's events. There's another event going on today.
Let's take a look. What else was there?
Well, so for the last couple days, the events that I created were kind of I don't know if they're exotic, but they're definitely classic cars that I wouldn't exactly define as reliable. It's more a labor of love.
Toyota Tuesday. I see that. I didn't see that before.
So today I decided let's kick it to reliability. And so we went back to the Toyota well, and I took 4 Toyotas that I really think would be a lot of fun to own, that you would get some thumbs up. I happen to be a Land Cruiser owner, so that 95 is near and dear to my heart.
Oh, the Solara. I hate those.
I appreciate that, but with 16,000 miles, try to value what that thing. Try to evaluate it. Tell me what it's going to sell for. It's really hard.
John, I'm leaving the show.
Wait, you went away. But all right, now it's just me. Just me then. So apparently the Solara can make people leave. Try to put a value on it. By the way.
I have a value I'll put on it. Don't worry.
Look at what people have bid on it so far. Talk about a wild swing.
Oh, Jasmine.
Yeah. It's hard. And a 16,000 mile Solara, I'm with you. Like, I like the fact that these are convertibles, but it's a Camry. Like, there's not a lot of redeeming qualities here other than reliability and the fact that the top goes down.
Let's not talk about it.
How do you put a number on it? It's got 16,000 miles on it. As a normal car, it's going to run.
I'm going to give it 1. It gets a 1 from me.
You seem very angry about this car.
I hate those cars.
What about the Celica? Does that give you the same sort of angst?
One of the things I really don't like about it is where the rear wheel tire is placed. It's as bad as a Pontiac G6. So we're going to find a photo of this.
Can I ask you this?
Is what? Now you got me riled up, man.
SC430.
Yeah.
Do you have the same sort of anger towards those?
Because it doesn't have this much space here for a rear seat. So the axle has to be placed further back, and the wheelbase is just way too long for the car, the proportions of the car. I'm angry. I hate these cars so much.
I was going to surprise you with one. I should probably call the transporter because that went wrong. Yeah, listen, you're valid on all points.
What is this? What is this big panel of gray plastic? What the fuck, Toyota? I mean, it's been in an accident. I wish somebody pushed it into the Long Island Sound.
Oh, look at that happy guy driving. It's a Camry convertible. He's on the wrong side of the road. He did everything he could to. He's on the wrong side of the road, right? It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
He thinks he's filming an episode of Top Gear. Anyway.
So when we talk about cars that are hard to assess, I can't think of a better example than that one.
Yeah.
But we can move on from that because I'd really like to look at that Tacoma for 2 seconds because I'm in love. I'm so in love, I think it's going to sell for $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
I love this thing. I
You're
love
not far
everything
off.
about it.
I don't like
Short
red
bed.
cars generally, but I do like the Cardinal red. I think it looks really good on this truck, even if it's a little faded. I think it looks great.
Short bed, single cab. Right? They don't make trucks like this anymore. It's little, it's diminutive. It is 47,000 miles. It's got my favorite tires of all time. It is a manual transmission, and it will outlive all of us. This is a prepper's dream. I love this thing. I totally want to bid on it, but
Prepper's Paradise.
it is, yeah.
I think it actually still has stickers on it. So those tires are brand new.
Yeah, they said February of 2025 they were put on. So they are what are they? The threes, whatever the newest, latest, greatest version is of the all-terrain TA. I mean, this is it for me. This is it for me. I love this thing.
You have redeemed yourself after that Solara catastrophe. But this stance here, I think, is really good. So this is lifted. Like, I think it's 2 inches, an inch maybe? Not much.
Not much, but they kept the skinnies, right? It doesn't have the stomper look of the tires sticking way out, which I hate.
The Brodozer.
Yeah, I don't want any of that. This is just an honest, cool, simple Toyota pickup. God, I think I just talked myself into buying it.
Yeah, well, I hope it doesn't go that high. I hope you get to take. I mean, was this thing rust free? I haven't looked at it yet.
It's super clean. It's been painted underneath, which kind of drew a couple of red flags for people. But to me, it looks very solid, and I would feel comfortable bidding on it. They took the bed off. There's pictures of that. I mean, they cleaned it up. They didn't, they cleaned it up.
I think this looks good. I mean, it's
agreed.
A 35-year-old, 27-year-old vehicle. What are people expecting?
It's got some years on it, but it doesn't have a lot of miles. I can't say it enough. Look how clean that is. How did
this draw a red flag? This is pristine.
Some of the comments were just like, "Hey, did you paint under there?" And it's like, "Yeah, I did." 47,000 miles. You could drive this for the rest of your life.
This is going more than what you thought it was going to 15 or 20.
I got 20 on it. And the only reason to give you my rationale a little bit, I put 20 on it because it is a base truck with no options. And I don't know, I mean, how much, and it's a 97, right? So we're still under 20 years old. No, we're 28. You just went through this exercise.
I'm going 21 on this. I'm going.
You think 21? All right.
I mean, I just want to be higher than you. If you change your bid, I'm going to change mine. But,
I wouldn't be surprised if we're both wrong and it goes for higher than both of us, although then I lose. But I don't know. I just, no matter what it sells for, it is nice enough that it's money well spent.
This car gets zero from me. All right. No, I'm going to, it's at 11 already with still 4.5 hours to go. Man,
and you should click on it because you like it so much. But see
I'm
if
not
that
clicking
11's
on it. I'm just gonna I want to put in a bid of.
You should teach us a lesson and put 0 down.
No, then I lose. So I might say this is, so 13.9 is not bad. You're loving this. So I'm gonna go right above Paul. I'm gonna go 14.5 on this.
It's got 16,000 miles.
I know. You want to get me riled up again?
It's so beautiful. Like the back end of it and that space between the tire and then 4 stories up where the back.
He doesn't know he's muted. He doesn't know he's muted. All right, John.
They're terrible. I agree. They're terrible. They're awful. I get it. Did we look at the Land Cruiser while we're looking at stuff or no?
We did not.
We can just real quick. 230,000 miles on it.
All 4 of these are from Bring a Trailer. So typically we'll mix them up. Because the the app is pulling in auctions from all the major auction houses. So, but this looks good.
The condition of this thing is beyond reproach. 230,000 miles on it, but it is so clean and so nice. Service records, it's triple locked, which all the Land Cruiser nerds love. And I say that because mine is not, so it's sour grapes for me. But 35,000.
So was the center differential an option?
No, let me see. Yeah, because I don't have a center diff. I have it now because I added it. You can, it's wired from the factory for the center diff. It just didn't come with the button. And then the front and rear can be locked if you have the option, but I do not. And there's something on the VIN that indicates it's a K somewhere. Anyway, triple locked is what everybody wants, even though these are so valuable at this point. Is anybody really like beating it that badly? I'm sure some people are. At any rate, this is all the things. This is what everybody wants. And even with the miles on it, I may be low at 35, but the market has gone soft on these. So, you know, maybe I'm on the money at 35. I don't know. We're going to find out. But it's so clean and nice. What a great truck.
It is.
It's just a great truck.
And where did you come in at? 35?
I came in at 35 on this.
Yeah. So so if you compare this, so the way I look at it is, if I were buying a new vehicle, how much would I spend? And I don't mind the repairs. So for instance, our 4Runner, I dropped it off at our 4Runner specialist. I got the estimate yesterday on an $8,000 vehicle. There's about $8,000 worth of repairs that I would like to make.
Okay.
It completely doesn't make sense on that vehicle, but I love the vehicle.
I get it.
We're not going to do all of that work. We're probably going to only do like $5,000 of it. But I say to myself, okay, so let's say I were in for 16. What else would I buy for 16 that gives me as much pleasure as a 97 4Runner that's got 200,000 miles, but it still has at least another 100,000 miles of joy, not just transportation. It's like we're going to be able to actually enjoy this thing. My kids love it. Even my wife will drive it to work every now and then, which is really cool. But like that Land Cruiser, $35,000. Let's say it goes for 35, like you predicted. Yep. What else are you going to buy for 35 that is as rugged, as reliable, has as much style? I mean, maybe it's just us. I mean, no, it's not just us. There are a bunch of enthusiasts like us, maniacs. But
it's not just us, and I can tell you unequivocally, I have a 95. It's a very clean truck. It's got also about 230,000 miles on it. Runs well. I maintain it. Everywhere I go, it gets all of the attention, and it's shocking. Like, it's just crazy to me, the amount of people that stop and want to talk about it. It's because it's great. I love it. And you're right. Like, there's a lot of enthusiast cars that I'm into that nobody has ever noticed or said anything to me when I drive it. But the Land Cruiser is different. It is as well regarded as any other classic car. And the difference is, it is a legit car that I drive almost daily, and it does everything. Home Depot runs no problem. You want to go get ice cream? Okay.
Right.
You can go skiing.
Taking the kids camping, taking the Boy Scouts camping in a snowstorm.
You can also do that, which I've done. And you can do all of the things with it. It's so usable that it kind of ruins other classic cars for me. Like, I have and we've mentioned this in videos past, like a 944 that constantly wants my attention. And I'm like, why can't you be more like the Land Cruiser? And then we go to therapy. It's fine. It's good. Anyway.
The Land Cruiser, however, though, the reason you drive the 944, you have a different experience when you get out of that car. You have a different feeling. You've experienced a different set of emotions, hopefully like positive emotions, than the Land Cruiser can give you, right?
Yeah, what I like about having multiple cars is the idea that when the Land Cruiser starts to feel a little small, I can get into the small car, and then Land Cruiser feels giant again. So yeah, different experiences for different automobiles for sure. But the one that the Porsche gives me is frustration the most.
Yeah, but as we know, I have to
Hopefully.
make more of those. I have a couple. They're not all relevant. Like this one, that one's not relevant because we haven't done. I mean, every now and then you'll say in the world. It's like,
In the world. In the universe.
yeah.
Hyperbole.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Well.
yeah. So we've killed another hour.
Okay.
Another hour older. Anything you want to talk about? Anything coming up in your week, car wise, that we should know about?
No, I would just say that we're going to continue to make events, and I'm going to try to make them as unique as possible and sort of showcasing the coolest cars that I can possibly find. So it's definitely worth, a couple moments out of your day to check it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Speed safely, everyone. This has been Bid Left Nut, the game, or not the game show where we try to figure out what would you give your left nut for? Maybe that pickup, maybe that Tacoma.
I would do that for the Tacoma. All right. We will see everybody soon.